So, hi, Laura, again.
Hi, Michelle.
It's so good that we're revisiting this. We had this great conversation about how you've decided to go gray.
Well, haven't completely decided. I
Oh,
am exploring it. As you can see, it's happening. and, but it wouldn't be the first time that I've explored it. I would say five other times I've let my hair grow out. And when it got to actually not even this far, people would say, "Are you okay? You really don't look well." They were worried for my health, and it was, and so each time I decided to go back and color again. But this time, like I think I told you, it was like in August I stopped, but you didn't even notice until October. And that's because the color of gray that I have is so close to my skin tone that people don't see a real difference. It just looks like my hairline is going further and further back. And now finally it's there's like a couple of inches there so people can see the difference. They can go, "Oh, wow, that's not just bald head. That has that silver hair there." you know.
and
So,
I just wonder, like, because you've got all this beautiful volume, are you getting away with murder right now that I could not possibly get away with? Because I've seen you comb it out, I've seen you do all, like, just show people
all right.
what it looks
Well,
like
for
with
instance,
different things.
well, it's totally different depending on what I do with it, and I could just show you like quickly with a pic. I to tell you that what I'm calling it right now is kind of a new form of Cruella de Vil because I
Yeah.
think of her as like silver one side and black on the other, and I'm like silver in by the head and black out here. But so if I part it down the center, you can see still most of my stuff is in the front.
Yeah.
That's where I happen to go white first. Back here, it's sort of mixed. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is actually one of the things you have to consider. It's like, how are you graying? Some people, it's all back here.
Uh-huh.
Other people, it's on the sides.
Right.
Other people, it's the ground. For me, it's almost like a headband from this ear all the way over to here, like a 2 to 3 inch headband. And then it goes into more of a mix, like a salt and pepper.
Uh-huh.
And so figuring out where it is part of the decision too. And then what style you wear. Like for instance, if I wear my hair like off to the side like this,
Yeah.
you can see quite a lot, like or I can go the other side too. Say if I were to go over like this, and
Right.
then but right now it's getting so. I would say a week ago. The contrast was very different because there wasn't as much white. And
Right.
now I have to really kind of fluff the black back in if I want that to show. And it could go this way. And I put it up and I put it down and I just and it's different. Sometimes it's all back and it's streaks in different ways. It depends on how it's combed and how it falls.
Right.
It's yeah. So
So I'm just curious, are you going to, or so if you didn't like it the last time, but this time is it different?
very, very.
Oh,
This time it's fun.
oh,
And the reason it is because years ago, people used to be really concerned about roots showing.
right.
Well, COVID has changed all that. No
Um,
one cares about roots. Everybody's showing their roots, whether you're blonde and your black roots or dark brown roots are showing, or whether you're, because people are every color now. People might be magenta or blue or green or whatever. And so it's quite clear that that's not their real color. And they have other roots of their real color. It's kind of the cat's out of the bag.
yeah,
Everybody likes to play and do things. I should say everybody, many people play and do
yeah,
things with their hair. it's
yeah,
a it's a means of self-expression.
it is.
So so the root thing that people used to hide and almost feel shame, like, oh, her roots are showing, and that's just it doesn't exist anymore. It's like, you know just like where you wear your hemline used to matter. Now anywhere you want. I mean, there's just certain things that evolve, and COVID just blew that whole thing with the hair right
Right,
out because people couldn't go to hairdressers for months,
right.
and so they had to just kind of, particularly TV personalities, just either make their spouses help them at home or just be out there and say, okay, this is who I am. uh,
And it actually has. it's like a new normal, like you said, like we've all adjusted and we kind of don't mind, it seems. Like I don't mind seeing these different, I just feel like it's the new thing now when I see all different kinds of, hair roots and this and that and the other. I feel like it's sort of it's a new look.
It used to be associated with being unkempt, like, oh,
Right.
look at her roots are showing. Like,
Right.
what's the matter? She's not keeping up with it, or like, but
Yeah.
it was all a facade anyway. It was like we're play acting to be blonde or play acting to be a redhead,
Yeah.
or some people have mousy color hair that they want to go dark or whatever. I mean, it's all over the map, and there's just no rules anymore. It's
No.
just in the realm of fun
Right.
and
And
how what makes you feel good.
are having fun with it because the way you do all these different things and it looks really good. Like, yeah, it does look awesome.
That's what's really fun. Even my husband, who I have to say, when we started a couple of months ago and he was seeing it a little bit, he was like, "Uh, I don't know, you might want," and now he's into it. Now he's like, "Wow, that's really interesting. That's really kind of fun and exciting." And it's just, I this is a whole different thing. But you see, I've changed too. You see,
Uh-huh.
and also maybe even the shade of silver that's coming in is different, because that's another really important thing to consider in the choice to go gray is what color is your gray.
Uh-huh.
There are many shades of gray, from white, stark white,
Right.
to like gorgeous pewtery tones that are just, I mean, they really look like a polished pewter, and they're just beautiful salt and peppers that are real visible mix.
Mhm.
Others that are very striped, even just the hair comes in different clumps, or they've got really dark back here and wait, but so the kind of gray you have, and then some are just like gray grays, then there's yellowy grays, and those don't look so flattering, and so people end up doing a rinse with a purple or a blue to bring it to neutralize the yellow and bring out the more pure color. So there's so many things that are options now.
Right.
And I had just thought too, what really changed things is when women in their 20s started dyeing their hair gray,
Yeah. Yeah.
dyeing their hair gray.
Yeah.
Nicole Richie, who is blonde her whole life pretty much, she goes and just goes gray, and a whole bunch of 20 somethings did, just because, hey, we can. And it's different. It's so different than any of their other choices. And that really blew apart the whole gray equals old thing.
Right.
Yeah. So gray doesn't necessarily equal old right now, although in some people it is aging,
Yeah.
and it can be.
It
And
can.
so I'm going to go with this until I get to that point. And if I feel that it's aging me,
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with coloring it again either.
Right.
Except I'm
Oh,
really enjoying not having to. It's a freedom.
before you, if you choose to color, we have to revisit because people need to see where you got to on this journey and
Mhm.
what's happening, because this is fascinating, right? This is such a thing for women, particularly. Okay, so we wanted to just have you covered all the points that,
Well,
so what do you suggest women do when they're dealing with this question?
one thing that's really handy, and I'll show you, I happen to have it right here, is get yourself a wig.
Oh
Look at
God.
how you're going to gray, and then there are catalogs that are very like inexpensive. Paula
Wow.
Young is one. I mean, I waited, of course, till it was on sale, because it's like $150 wig or something, but I got it for $49. I was like,
Okay.
$49 to play around with this and see how I like it
Yeah.
is great. Because you see, I've had friends who they decide, oh, I can't bear the grow out, so they they cut it all off and they go to really short hair. That's one of the ways. I'll just have my hair super short and gray, and I'll just come in that way. And others bleach out all the dark, and then some do low lights with the new gray coming in and gradual. There's so many ways you can approach it. There
Okay.
isn't one right way to go gray. But to get a sense if you think this is really going to work at all, get something like this. You know, it's a very different look on me, I'll tell you.
Wow.
When I'm all silvery,
Yeah.
I was just trying to get the dark away. When I have this abundance of silver,
It looks
it's,
good.
well, I don't know. See, I'm not the jury's out on that, because um the, again, I feel that I need to compensate with like a lot of makeup if I'm going to, because I have a very pale, sallow complexion. And I think what's fun right now is the contrast.
Yeah, the
This
contrast is
extreme
fun.
contrast, the Cruella de Vil inside out thing is the fun part of it. I'm not sure that I want to be this yet, you know.
Okay, got
So
it.
well, anyway, but to get an inexpensive wig so that you can really see, because
Yeah,
you can't tell,
no,
you can't guess at it, you know.
that is
So
that's such an amazing idea. You have so many ideas when it comes to hair. You are, this is your zone of genius, and so women can do virtual consults with you, and you can help them.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when again, I can help with the process, help them choose which process is best for them
Right.
and what to do along the way. There's considerations like your wardrobe. Your wardrobe may change when you color your hair or stop coloring your hair. Uh,
Right.
like I notice with the silvery tones, turquoises look especially nice. Purples look. There's certain shades that work really well with the silver realms. The other thing is jewelry. You may have to reconsider if you're going to let your gray grow out and you're a person who wore a lot of gold jewelry, maybe not so much with against the silver hair. It may not work well. So these are all kinds of considerations, that, for me, I consult on style as well as hair per se. It's not because
Right.
it's not just these strands of hair. It's the extension of you into your hair and how you express to the world, and then how everything else interacts with that, clothing, jewelry, makeup, all of that. It
Right.
it's all about how you want to express yourself. And when you tweak one thing, a lot of times you do have to tweak a few other things to make it really come together in a new way. Yeah.
Right. Well, we were going to keep this succinct. So,
Yeah.
is there anything that we haven't covered?
No, I think that's it for now. It's just this is where I'm at now. Oh, I was going to show how different it is when I go, if I do just like decide to put it up, which
Wow.
it's a whole different thing, you know, because you see, it's like all of
Wow.
a sudden there's this, but you see how much white is really here. I mean, it's like, what? I mean, that's not the same hairdo at all.
It's so different. It's amazing.
Right.
It's
And
like almost
sometimes
like
I could
it's
do a
almost like
half.
you're sorry, go ahead.
I could even do just like a half ponytail, pull like half of it up like that, but it still gives a whole different image
Yeah,
with this white showing like this and the contrast being back here and down here.
right.
I'm still having more fun with sort of the diagonally thing and
I
and what that does. And this, yeah.
yes. It's very striking. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. It's fun. And I'm going to just be with it while it's fun. And if it's not fun anymore, then I'll reassess. And yeah, so I'd love to keep talking with you about it. But if people want to explore their own journey, I am here to be a hand holder and a helper and a wise guide, who has a lot of experience with, as I said, I've done this 5 times already.
Amazing.
But each time I went back. So who knows what's going to happen this time? We'll see.
Well, all right. So then for people who want to get in touch with you, they should go to hairharmonics.com.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Hairharmonics.com. And then they can either email me or call me from there. And yes, I'd be delighted to work with anybody who's considering such an exploration.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
And
thank you for asking me about it. This is very fun.
you're so welcome. Thank you, Laura.
Okay. Mwah. Have a good night.